This is Fuko, an unlucky girl. When she was 8 years old, she kissed her parents and their plane gets hit by a meteor and they die. From that day on, she realizes that whoever she touches is cursed with her unluck and ends up dying. Because of this, she isolates herself until she meets an undead man who can never die. The story begins when Fuko finishes her favorite manga and says her life isn't like this, and decides to end it. While she stands on a bridge over train tracks, a man says it's dangerous. She explains that she wanted to experience romance, but because of her body it won't happen, so she should die. She points a knife at him and tells him that if he touches her, he will get infected and die. Then the man walks into her knife, stabbing himself, and she freaks out. Then he grabs her and asks what disease she has, pulling her away from the edge. He says he is invincible and asks what will happen now. She says her unluck is coming. Just then, the edge breaks and he falls and gets hit by a train. She apologizes, believing she killed another person, but his head flies back onto the bridge and he realizes that disease is just to protect others from getting hurt. He then regenerates his body from the head. She freaks out. Upon seeing him naked, she hits him in the crotch and runs away screaming that he is a zombie. He gets angry and jumps to grab her, saying he's undead, not a zombie. He has some questions for her, but seeing the police coming, he jumps away while carrying her from building to building, and he takes her to a rooftop and regenerates his legs. She tries to run away but he grabs her leg. She tells he's touching her, and will activate her unluck, but he says he is only touching her clothes. He asks her to explain her unluck, but she only wants to die and is not afraid of him. Then he starts swinging her around, making her fear that she will fall, and she agrees to talk. She says it started 10 years ago when she was 8. Her parents were going on a business trip, and at the airport, she hugged and kissed them. But half an hour later, the plane exploded, killing all the people on board, including her parents. And she believes she was the cause of their deaths, and since then, she has always covered her skin. But he hugs her, saying that her biggest unluck will activate now. She tries to be free, but he won't let go until a crate of bananas falls on him. But he still stands up, gets angry while she runs only to slip on a banana and fall off the building. As she falls, she is disappointed by how she will die, realizing she hasn't achieved anything and realizes she isn't ready to die. Then he saves her from falling, saying he won't let her die until he fully understands her true power and can finally die himself. He then takes her to his hideout. On a building, a scarred man informs his boss that the undead is heading toward his hideout with the girl. At his hideout, he learns that the longer he touches her, the stronger is the unluck. Then he tells her to take off her clothes to increase skin contact, but she begins to run away, saying that she won't strip for him. While running, her jacket and hat fall, revealing her extremely long hair. As he approaches, she begins crying when he sees her hair and complains that no one has been able to give her a haircut. Then takes scissors and grabs her, saying as long as he holds her, nothing will happen, and he can give her a haircut. After he's done, he shows her a mirror, but she hesitates to open her eyes. When she sees herself, she likes it and thanks him, but he's excited to see what happens next. Suddenly, his head gets cut off by the scarred man, who thanks her for distracting the undead, and quickly puts the head in a special capsule so he won't regenerate. One of his men handcuffs her, and the scarred man says their job is to protect the world from danger. And because anyone who touches her dies, she is a dangerous weapon. She asks if they want her power, and he replies that he plans to use her to kill as the undead wants to use her. She disagrees, saying that he only wants to use her power to die, not to kill others like them. Then the man grabs her face, warning her to talk less, and she begins to cry as the undead is trapped because of her. Just then, lightning hits the man holding the capsule and he falls. The man says it's his bad luck. The undead breaks free and regenerates. The man orders his men to attack him as he is not a fighter. He says that he might not match their fighting skills, but he is still a fighter, and removes a metal card from his head. As they fight, he manages to regenerate and kill them all. He says that the lightning was the unluck and puts his metal card back. The man says that he misjudged him and places his sword on her neck, saying he will kill her unless he gives him his head. He says he wants to fight but begins to cut his head, and she tells him to stop as too many people have died because of her and doesn't want him to get captured. But he says today was fun and throws his head towards them. Then she manages to get free and jumps to kiss him on the cheek. As the man catches the head, she says her unluck is coming. He smiles and regenerates, grabbing the man's face, and a meteor falls on them, destroying the building. As the dust settles, she worries about the undead, who then come out of the ruins saying it was amazing. She's happy to see him, and he thanks her for the nice unluck, but she says she wouldn't call it nice. Then she introduces herself and asks his name, but he doesn't have one, so she decides to call him Andy. He says it's fine. Andy is surprised that a kiss caused so much damage and says they should do something more, and she starts running while he chases her, confused why she's running. Next he makes a move on her, telling her to have sex with him to see how strong her unluck hits him. She gets angry thinking he considers her just a tool to get himself killed and refuses to do it with him. She gets an idea and says that her unluck increases the more she likes someone. Her parents, her grandfather, all died because they were her family and she loved them, and if he tries to force her to do anything, she will end up hating him and he will never die, being forced to live forever. However, he says that he needs to protect her until she falls in love with him. Then he takes her to an armory, where he creates weapons to fight enemies, and he makes bulletproof armor for her to protect her from the Scarred Man's organization. She asks about them, and he reveals they catch people with mysterious powers to use them as tools. She says they killed them, but he replies that more men will be coming for them and they need to run. He says he was experimented on 50 years ago and this time they will take her and many people will die. She gets terrified and says they need to run. Then they get on a motorcycle to escape. She asks where they are going, and he tells her they will keep running. She is scared of getting caught, but he says he will protect her until she falls for him. Then he notices a crack in the sky and says they are coming just like they came for him years ago. An armored member of the Union comes out of the crack and attacks them, smashing him down. Fuko runs to help him, but Shen pulls her back and she can no longer move her legs. The armored man, Void, tells Shen to kill her, but he wants to know her better. Then Andy regenerates and attacks Void, but suddenly he freezes in place. She looks at Shen angrily, but he says he's not doing it. Andy can't move his body until Void punches him, and he realizes that he stopped his movement, although Fuko tells him that the guy next to her is stopping them from moving, but he says that both these negators can paralyze them. The armored man can paralyze the full body and the man with her controls her will. Shen is impressed by his knowledge, but he can't stop them. Then Void punches Andy and he punches back, so they start fighting each other. Fuko wonders if Union will keep chasing them forever. Shen confirms it, saying that due to yesterday's meteor, her capturing priority was raised to 8 out of 10. She asks if they are also negators. Why aren't they being hunted? Then Void breaks Andy's head and tells Shen not to say anything, but Shen sees no harm in it. He says that Union has a special team of 10 negators who are not hunted on the condition that they carry out missions. She asks if they can become a member, but Void says there are no vacancies and is about to punch her when Andy saves her. He says that they should beat these two and take their places in the team, saying he won't let her die. Then she blushes, touches him to activate the unluck and runs. Void and Shen notice their direct contact. Then she yells that a huge stroke of unluck is coming, but it's not because she's in love. Shen and Void argue over who will go after her while Andy closes in on them. Suddenly a truck crashes, causing a big explosion, but they are unharmed as Shen hides behind Void. Andy enters a building. While they chase him, he starts thinking about what they negate. He says when Void tries to punch him, he stops moving and guesses he must be unavoidable. But he doesn't understand Shen's powers and decides to stay hidden until he figures it out. However, he sees dynamites placed all over the building with a timer reaching 0, and the building explodes and collapses. She thinks if it is her doing or not, then Void is unharmed thanks to his armor and decides to kill her to stop more damage. But first, he grabs Andy's hand, who comes from behind, saying he can leave any body part for 30 seconds before it disappears. Then he points his finger and fires Part's bullet, which breaks the eye on Void's helmet and kills him, saying he can stop his muscles, not his regeneration. Then Void falls and Shen is shocked. Then Andy turns to him. Shen says his seat is secured, but he says they need 2 seats. He then attacks Shen with a right kick, but realizes it was actually his left kick, which Shen blocks. As they fight, Shen is impressed with him, as he can hit him. Fuko comes and asks if they become friends. He says no and notices the sword in her hand. He tells her to throw it at him. He says that his power is opposite. He knows where an attack will land and defends the opposite side. As he gets the sword, he asks what he will do now. He prepares to strike him, but freezes. He says that he still hesitates to kill people. She tries to touch him, but he easily avoids her. He won't reveal his rule, but they can't escape or touch him. Andy gets angry that she is here. In Shen's line of sight, Shen asks who will join the Union. Andy says she will, while he can capture him, but she doesn't want it. He tells her that she won't survive a single day in the lab and reassures her that he'll escape someday to win her heart. She takes off her jacket and tells Shen to look away, but he refuses. Then she says they're about to do some X-rated stuff, surprising him and Andy both. She explains that she has never experienced romance, and while she may not love him, she can't just leave him without giving him something. After all he's done for her. Shen laughs, saying he don't want to separate them, and if they can kill another member, he will recommend them. He reveals that in 3 days one of their members will be at Lake Baikal. He warns them that they may still get hunted and leaves through the crack. She's surprised that Shen let them go. He says thanks to your behavior and warns her not to do this again. Then he says they're heading to Russia, and as public transportation is too dangerous, they will first go to Niigata, then take a yacht, then a jet to Irkutsk, where they'll hire some of his old war buddies, and they will kill the Union member at the lake. Next, in 1970, Andy uses his blood to write Happy Birthday Gina on a wall in his cell, making her happy back in the present. Someone tracks the yacht on which Andy and Fuko are traveling. She is scared that someone might attack them, as Shen had told them. But he tells her not to worry and enjoy the moment. Then they are attacked by a fighter jet. She fears they will die, but he says her unluck will save them. She disagrees, but he says it's all about how you use the ability. He takes a grenade and cuts his hand, so he can shoot it, like a weapon, destroying the jet. She wonders if they are now part of the Union, but he reminds her that they need to kill the person with the golden Union emblem. He says that he knows 3 Union members. First is the maker of his sword, called Unbreakable. Second is the engineer, who experimented on him, and the third is the woman who captured him with the ability to create invisible barriers, placing his head inside one to stop his regeneration. She worries they might face her, but he says whoever it is, they will kill it, and they also have her unluck, which he wants to test now. But she is against the idea, saying he will just get pervy. Meanwhile, Gina watches them on a monitor, saying Andy hasn't changed and is still the man she fell in love with, and fires a missile to sink the boat. Underwater, he thinks about what attacked them and finds her unconscious under the wreckage. Then he uses his ability to free her and takes her out of the water. When she wakes up, he tells her to raise her hands as they are surrendering. She is confused, but he says he is just buying time and testing if her unluck can be controlled or not. She says she can't control it, but he says the lightning strike and meteor were things she pulled from afar because she put great emotional value on the haircut and the kiss. And he wonders how big this time it's going to be. She asks what he means. She notices her bra is pushed up and fixes it. He says that he gave her CPR. She freaks out and asks what else he did. He says he also gave her mouth to mouth, and she screams in embarrassment. Just then, an underground volcano erupts, launching them into the air and onto a plane. He then quickly uses his skills to kill the pilot in the cockpit. With the pilot dead, the plane goes down, but he takes control, saying they need to continue testing her unluck so they can use it at will. She says it doesn't work like that. As they approach the lake, the plane's self-destruct mode activates, forcing them to eject. Using his abilities, he manages to soften the fall and save her from dying. He tells her they're on Lake Baikal, the clearest and oldest freshwater lake. She is excited as it's her first time outside Japan, so she tells her to go sightseeing and the Union won't attack them in public, while he has to go look for his old buddies. She asks how they'll kill the member, but he says that their plan remains the same, and he mentions that one of his buddies owns a restaurant. He leaves her on the beach, telling her to have fun, alone. Some Russian men approach her, but she runs away, afraid she might touch them. Then she sees Gina painting, and as Gina notices her, she gets excited to meet a Japanese person. Then Gina says she loves Japanese schoolgirl uniforms, but she says that she never went to high school, which disappoints Gina. Looking at Gina's painting, she says she also paints but isn't very good at it. Then Gina says they should paint together. She hesitates, but Gina says it will be fun. Since Andy told her to have fun, she agrees and starts painting with her. As they paint, Gina calls her Lil Lucky, since she has good luck written on her hat. Gina asks her if she likes things that change or that stay the same. Gina herself likes things that don't change, which is why she likes painting, as it captures an ever-changing world in a never-changing drawing. She says the question is hard and wants to think more about it. After it gets dark, she finishes her painting. Gina asks to see it, but she asks her not to laugh. After seeing it, Gina wonders what the white dots in the sky are. She explains that since space is empty except the sun and moon, and the moon looked lonely, she gave it friends. She also says she has an answer to her question. She says that for a long time she didn't change and wanted to die. However, 4 days ago, she met a crazy guy who helped her change, and that's why she was able to draw again. Gina walks on water, saying she's still young and naive, but her words touch her. Then part of the lake starts floating, lifting Gina into the air. She is shocked. At that moment, Andy returns and attacks Gina. However, she blocks him with an invisible barrier. He says that she hasn't changed. He cheers on a perfect landing, and she realizes that this is the woman who captured him 50 years ago. And Gina decides to play with them until her scan is done. Then she creates stairs from the water and heads down. She says that her boss informed her that they want to join the organization, but to do that they will need to kill her. Next, while meditating, Shen gets excited thinking about his fight with Andy and says he enjoyed it, but his assistant, Mui, tells him not to get distracted. Then she tells him that Gina will fight undead and unluck, and Shen says they will be fine. At the beach, Gina is happy to see Andy again and rushes to hug him, but he attempts to cut her off. Fuko is surprised that Gina was the one who caught Andy 40 years ago, because she looks the same age as her. She gets happy that Fuko is flattering her, but he says that she must be 66 right now, and he is impressed by her anti-aging tech, but she stops him from speaking and pushes his sword up. Seeing his face cut, she gets excited and attempts to kiss it, but it dissolves before she can. Fuko asks if he's okay, and he replies not to worry about him. Gina gets jealous and says she fell in love with him first. She says that when she captured him, there were no free seats, and after she began overseeing him, she apologized that due to her, he was stuck in that situation. But Andy says not to worry, as dying multiple times will help him understand his power, and when he escapes, they would have a rematch, but this time he won't lose. That made Gina fall for him, and 10 years later, he escaped, and finally, after waiting for 40 years, she met him again. While she is speaking, he throws some grenades, but they have no effect. She gets annoyed, saying she was supposed to meet Andy first, but Shen went ahead and fought him. She says that he can now take Void's place. Then he throws a bomb and attempts to attack her, but realizes her barrier is still up. Fuko wonders where his friends are, and he tells her they are dead, but he made reservations. While fighting her, he notes that she can solidify water, lift it, and create invisible walls and stairs, which is her main ability. So if her other ability is hardening stuff, his katana would have been able to cut it, so it must be something else. Then, Gina throws her hat at him. He lifts Fuko up, and as the hat cuts him, he notices invisible blades. Gina says he can't fight due to Fuko and says Fuko should have died on the boat. She restrains him and tells him to give up, saying she won't survive in the Union. He doesn't care and says that Fuko is his woman and he won't let her die. Then she tells him she will take his head like before so he can belong to her forever. He says he has figured out what she negates and puts a grenade in his mouth and blows his head in air. He then regenerates and explodes, spilling blood everywhere, saying that she negates an object's change in form, and she makes invisible barriers by changing the air. However, since she is covered in blood, it is clear that she is unchanged. Gina confirms and says he can't do anything about it. Then he regenerates under Fuko's shirt, saying he will need her help. He keeps talking to distract her and tells Fuko to keep touching him and cover as much area as possible. But she notices that Fuko's bare chest is touching his back, and she says that Fuko had seduced him, otherwise he wouldn't have a weak girl by his side. Gina says that she will get old soon, while she will remain unchanged. He asks what she as an external targeter can do. Fuko doesn't understand, so he explains that there are two types of negators: self-targeters like him, and external targeters like her and Gina, who can affect anyone. Gina says she is a self-targeter, but he says that her body hasn't changed much. She gets angry and attacks him. He flies with Fuko on his back and starts provoking her, making her angrier. He wonders how he can defeat her. Then Fuko notices that Gina isn't running, only walking towards them. He realizes something, but ends up hitting an invisible object above him. He looks up, light turns on and many lasers target them. Gina says she is investigating here, scanning parts of the lake. Then she snaps and the lasers turn off, revealing that the invisible object is a UFO. She says Fuko said she prefers change, but she prefers things to stay the same and forever be with the one she loves. She will do anything to remain in the Union so that she can keep chasing him. And since the greatest change is death, she will give her change. Then she attacks. But he blocks it, saying that death is for him, not for Fuko, and he will keep her safe until she falls for him, and then he'll die. Gina says that the girl will not survive in the Union and attacks them. He tells Fuko that she has a hole in her barrier, which allows her to breathe or walk. The hole is so small that only his head can get in, but if he enters, she will just kick him out. Then he throws the sword, which bounces back off her barrier, and then he spills more blood, blinding her. While she can't see, they move the hole using the sword and Fuko throws his head inside. He explains that nothing will affect her due to her barrier. However, as long as he is inside, the unluck will hit her, and as light can pass through her barrier, which is composed of air, the unluck should be light-based. In that moment, the UFO activates and fires a beam at them, making a giant hole in the ground. As Gina's unchange over the lake collapses, Fuko falls into the water. At the shore, she gets up and runs. Andy is sitting beside an injured Gina. He prepares to shoot her, but Fuko stops him and he chooses not to finish her, as she will die soon. Seeing Fuko worried, Gina says that she was at Union's mercy, capturing and executing many, but nothing ever changed, neither she nor the world. She believed that their mission was to prevent change, but now realizes that she was wrong. She says that her painting is beautiful, and her idea of putting sparkles around the moon is great. She tells them to leave as her anti-aging begins to fail, changing her to her original state. Then he hugs her and says that a few wrinkles won't change how beautiful she is. Then they share a kiss. Later, Gina passes away. Next, in an empty restaurant, Fuko cries over Gina's death while pouring alcohol. Andy says that Gina had always wanted to die. When she visited him, she had told him that she didn't like killing others to stay alive, and it would be better if she died. So he promised her that once he escapes, she will be at the top of his hit list. He tells her that her unluck was Gina's salvation. Then she asks him if they can change the Union, so that no one else suffers as Gina did. He supports her and says that Union will be coming to pick them up soon, and they should drink for Gina. As they prepare to drink, the ceiling cracks and a creature says it has come to pick them. As they fall, they see a round table. He bites off his fingers and shoots them at the members as a greeting, but they all easily deal with them. They land in the 9th and 10th seats. The leader Juiz, number 1, welcomes them. Then Tatiana punches Andy for killing Gina, but Billy reminds her that fighting among members is forbidden. Juiz then tells them to stop, forcing Andy to place his blade at Fuko's neck and Tatiana to point her gun at Billy. Tatiana apologizes, and Andy also gives up. He apologizes to Fuko saying he learned something. After everyone calms down, Juiz tells Apocalypse, a flying, talking book, to proceed. Then the book opens up and reveals 6 new quests. The first quest is the capture of the Uma Burn, reward addition of an 11th seat. Second is to capture Uma Eat, reward location of Negator Unburn. Third is ending Uma language, reward unification of all languages. Andy tells her to listen carefully and remember the details. The fourth quest is to capture the Negator Unseen, reward location of Uma Call. The fifth quest is to capture Uma Past, reward location of Artifact Rebellion. Sixth quest is the capture of Uma Spoil, reward location of Negator Unrepair. The allowed time is until August 31st. If all quests are not fulfilled, the penalty will be the addition of Uma Galaxy. Juiz tells Nico to analyze the data. After a few moments, Nico says that they can handle the first 3 quests. Burn should be their highest priority, as its reward is the most valuable, an additional seat, and they should give up on the 6th quest as they lack data and will only lose members. Then Juiz says they should focus on the first 3 and accept the penalty. As Juiz prepares to split the quests among them, Fuko asks Top about Apocalypse. Top says it was the first artifact found on Earth. At the round table, it opens and gives them unreasonable tasks. If they succeed, they get a reward, but if they fail, they receive a penalty. Fuko asks if they really have to obey it. She shares that Gina also didn't want to do it and that one of the quests is to capture a Negator, someone just like them. Juiz says that 98 rules have been added to Earth: sex, language, race, death, sick, and others, and every 3 months, new penalties are added even without Union's intervention. So they complete these quests to gain rewards, to grow stronger, so that one day they can kill the creator of Earth, God. Only those who sit here can do the quests, saying that they both caused much damage. And she apologizes for ordering to kill her, but after Shen's recommendation, she invited them. And if she wants to make changes, she needs to become number 1. If she works hard, she will be promoted and can eventually become a leader. Suddenly, Andy gets on the table and grabs Apocalypse, asking which quest is the hardest. Fuko and Top freak out, telling him to stop, annoyed. Apocalypse bites off Andy's hands and reveals that Spoil's quest is the hardest. Andy then says that he, Fuko, and Shen will take it. Shen is against it, but Apocalypse accepts it. Next, Mui helps Fuko dress up and wishes her good luck. Fuko wonders if Mui will join them, but Mui says that she doesn't have an emblem or a Negator, so she can't participate in quests. Mui then asks her to look after Shen. As they leave, Andy bumps into Fuko. Suddenly, magma erupts from the walls and dissolves his suit. Andy says he doesn't need a suit, but Shen says he needs to have one. He says that suits are bulletproof, stab-proof, and look good, and the necktie gives them access to public services and translates any language. And the emblem is needed to participate in quests. Andy still refuses, saying he is going on a date with Fuko and leaves Shen alone. Then an alarm activates, informing them that a prisoner has escaped and should be captured soon. As the prisoner is on their level, Mui checks the panel and says it's Uma clothes, which attaches to a person's body and takes over full control. a person controlled by Close attack Andy, but he knocks him out. Mui says that now Close will look for a new host, then Close jumps on Mei and transforms. Andy sees no change in her clothes, but Shen does. Then Mui attacks them. While they defend, Andy asks Shen to use his abilities, but he says they won't work on Close. Seeing Mui cry, Fuko removes her gloves, runs and touches her, apologizing that it may hurt. Then a brick falls from the ceiling and hits Mui in the head, knocking her out. Close then moves towards Fuko, but Andy jumps and saves her, letting Close get on him. Andy says that being bait is not cool, while she hopes that he would save her, and Andy reminds her that her unluck is quite dangerous. Mui wakes up and apologizes, but Shen compliments her kung fu, saying her training paid off. They wonder why Close isn't transforming, and he pops out, saying Andy desires to regenerate again and again. Andy provokes him, and he says that he will take control of him. As it begins to transform, Fuko recalls that Andy touched her a moment ago and lightning strikes. Nico apologizes and says that it was an accident. As Close regenerates over Andy, he says he just needs to be faster. Then Fuko welcomes him and names him Clothy. Shen is impressed that they managed to make an Uma their servant for stopping Close. Andy is promoted to the 9th seat. Union then receives a report of a corpse walking on the streets of New York, which they believe is connected to Uma Spoil. Next, Fuko and Andy reach Nevada, with him driving a truck instead of his helicopter. He suggests going to Vegas to enjoy, but she tells him they can't do that and reads a report that a rotting corpse is scaring people in New York City, and the corpse was a person from the town of Longing. Shen reveals that it is a rural area where many movies are filmed, and as Andy wanted to leave him behind, but he traveled on the roof. Then she invites him inside and he makes himself comfortable in the back, which Andy clearly dislikes. She asks if the task is connected to Spoil, and Shen says yes, and tells her that Spoil here means to rot away. He isn't sure how the zombie reached New York, but they have to fight zombies in the town. She gets scared and wonders if they stand a chance. He says that their team has sent an audio from the town. She asks if they're all safe and he plays the recording, which is filled with zombie noises and screams. After hearing it, she is terrified, and he says that Andy may have a hard time unless he goes all out, but Andy replies it won't be needed. At night, they take a break, but she can't sleep. Shen comes and says that he and Andy will take care of Spoil, but she wants to help too, as the reward is the location of Unrepair, and if they are successful, Unrepair may help Andy die. She asks why he is here and remembers that he was forced, but he says that it is a hard quest and if they try harder, they may even win. The next day, they reach Longing and see a big wall surrounding it. Then Andy shoots a rocket at the wall. They are surprised and zombies start coming out. Shen asks why he did that. Then he asks Shen if they can be turned back into humans, but as he denies it, then he steps on the gas and runs over the zombies, and seals the hole with the truck. Then he jumps out and says that he will kill a lot of zombies, but if anyone knows where the one who turned them into zombies is, they can dodge his attacks. Then he spins forward and cuts dozens of zombies. Shen is impressed while she is protected by an airbag. As blood rains down, he notices a female zombie who ducks. He drags her toward the truck, saying she will help them find Spoil. Fuko wants to follow, but Shen stops her and asks Andy if he has any experience fighting Uma. He replies, "Can't remember." Shen says that Umas are different from negators and they have different rules. He says his ability works when he looks at people at a certain distance, and Fuko's activates through physical contact. But fighting a Yuma is different, as its ability activates when they comes near them. He apologizes and Shen asks if he feels anything strange. Suddenly, Close tells him that something is written on his stomach. It's a timer. Shen and Fuko don't have it. Then Shen says they are safe, and he sits, saying he'll wait, and they freak out as he's going to turn into a zombie. But he says he will be fine. After a while, when the timer turns 0, his arm begins to spoil, but his ability heals him, causing him to spoil and heal over and over again. Shen wonders how they can find Spoil. Then Andy starts to understand what the zombie is saying. He tells them that she knows where Spoil is, and if they get married, she will tell them. And since he is half zombie, he understands her zombie needs. Then he asks Fuko if he can marry her, and she laughs, saying it's fine. Shen says what if she's a spy, and as Andy walks away, he reminds that their task is to capture Spoil, not kill it. Then Fuko sees a child looking through a bunker and hides again, so she runs after them. Shen starts crying, calling Mui for help. While Fuko enters the underground tunnel, she wonders why he hasn't turned. Shen follows her and tells her not to proceed as the tunnel could be in Spoil's range. The children point a gun at them, revealing that they are infected, and ask if they work for it. She says they're not, but they think they want to kill them as they will turn into zombies. And that is why they are standing outside the curse range. Suddenly, she hugs him and gets the timer. Shen follows her and both of them are cursed now. At the church, Andy tells the zombie that she looks good in the wedding dress and says they need a priest, but it doesn't matter and asks the other zombies to cheer. Then she tells him they don't need to marry. She wants him to kill them, to save them from misery, and then points to an angel statue telling him to kill it. Andy says he can't refuse his bride's request and then pulls out his sword and cuts the statue, who then reveals to be Spoil. It asks why he won't spoil as he's a negator. Then he takes its real form and destroys the church. But all the zombies protect Andy with their bodies. Andy then joins his hands and fires a shot that strikes the bell, which hits Spoil. Then he announces that he will kill Spoil and hit it again, and then all the zombies run towards him to fight it. Then he pulls his sword to attack. In the tunnel, Shen lifts the gun and smiles, as Fuko tells the oldest child, Ken, that they are here to help them, and asks what happened and how they are still okay. He says that a week ago, something appeared from the sky and started turning adults into zombies. Their teacher, who protected them, hid them in the bunker and told them to focus on their dreams. She said she will not die until a handsome guy marries her, and then she closed the door. Shen thinks they need to find Spoil. When the little girl begins to cry, Ken sees that her timer is moving fast. Then he reassures her that it will be fine and asks what her favorite flowers are. As she focuses on the flowers, she gets happy and her timer rises. He says that this way they keep the timer up and asks if they will help them. Then they hear a blast from above. Outside, the zombies and Andy fight Spoil. Then Shen and Fuko come out of the bunker and are surprised to see the zombies are fighting alongside him. Shen says it's because he is helping them. Andy is happy to see them and says to catch her bride. Then he tosses her so that Shen can catch her. Ken says that she is their teacher, and Fuko realizes she has been helping them since the beginning and wanted to see her dream come true. The children hug her, relieved that she is okay. She thanks them. Just then, a zombie accidentally runs into Fuko and her unluck causes a sign to hit Spoil and crush the zombie. Seeing this, Andy tells all the zombies to touch Fuko so they can cause even more damage. Fuko asks why they do that, and the teacher hugs her. She begins to cry as she removes her gloves and touches her. Ken tries to stop her, but Shen stops him using his powers. Then the teacher runs towards Spoil to sacrifice herself. Thinking of running between the flowers, and Spoil hits her. Then it loses balance and falls into a gunpowder store, causing a massive explosion. Shen tells the children to stay back, and Andy tells the zombies to run and touch Fuko. As they run, she touches them one by one. Shen tells the children to stay in the bunker. With high spirits, the zombies run to fight Spoil and cause multiple explosions. It screams in pain. Shen tells Andy that they are also infected. Fuko says it is her fault, and Andy gets angry, saying they need to kill it. Shen says that they will fail the quest. Suddenly Spoil begins sucking everything. Andy saves Shen and Fuko from being pulled in. Then Spoil transforms into a stronger form. Shen asks if Andy was able to figure out its rules. He says that its body rots living beings, and when the timer reaches 0, they turn into zombies, but if it rises, they will survive. Shen says it won't matter anymore. Then Spoil fires a beam at a distance, destroying the Statue of Liberty. Spoil looks at them, realizing that Apocalypse sent them on a quest. Then Mui informs Shen that the beam destroyed the statue. Then, Spoil begins to fly and attacks them, proving Mui's point that the beam destroys everything it touches. Andy thinks they need to find a way to kill it, or they will die. As he jumps towards it, his body starts burning, and it punches him to the ground and continues punching him. It wonders what type of negator Andy is. Then he tells Shen and Fuko to be grateful as they're going to rot soon. Shen figures something out and runs off. Spoil taunts him that he can't run from the timer, and its hair begins melting as it tells Fuko that before its birth, the world grew earlier with time, and then it brought a change by rotting everything. He says that only humans call it evil and asks why they get attached to their bodies. She says that because they dream and work hard to make them come true, they fight for it. So she focuses on her dream of living a normal life, which causes her timer to rise higher, scaring Spoil. Then Andy tries to get up. She runs to him, and Shen returns and attacks it, revealing that his dream is to be a great warrior, causing his timer to rise. Shen keeps attacking Spoil with the Nioi Kinko staff. Andy warns him not to get too close, but he says he figured out that the force field is around Spoil's body, and as its head was near Fuko, and she is safe. So he decides to attack only the head using the staff. They ask why he didn't use it before, and he says Andy gave him the idea. He explains that this staff can expand and shrink at will. Then he hit it again. It wonders what's going on. It is revealed that this is due to Shen's abilities. The target is forced to do the opposite of what it thinks to do next, and to do it he needs to get close to it. Andy asks what his plan is, and he says that he wants to get its core but still hasn't figured out how. Spoil tries to attack him but fails. He mocks it, and Spoil asks what his abilities are. Then he says that it is untruth and strikes again. Fuko asks how they can stop its spoiling ability and Andy says they can try to reduce the moisture in the air. Then he touches her, which makes her uneasy, but he says it is for activating her unluck. Then she slaps him. He tells Shen that he got an idea. Just then, the ground cracks beneath him and he falls in. As Shen checks for him, Spoil laughs and punches the ground, causing the dust to spread around to block Shen's vision. Fuko looks at the sky and suggests they take Spoil in space where there will be no spoiling without air, but didn't know how to do it. Shen calls it a fantastic idea. Then he asks Andy to remove the metal card from his head to unlock his full potential, and he agrees. Then Shen shrinks the staff, throws it down and asks Mui about Spoil's location using the satellite. She searches and tells him the coordinates. Andy says he's got it. Then he uses the staff to come out and take Spoil into the space, while throwing his metal card towards Shen as he goes. Fuko worries that without the card he may lose control, but Shen says let's see what happens next. In space, Spoil says that their plan is a waste and prepares to fire its beam, but he regenerates, this time with long dark hair. Spoil is shocked to see his speed. Then he fires 2 fingers, which regenerates into his clones and begins cutting Spoil's body. He then takes its core and sends it down. On the ground, the children are happy. Then Mui tells Shen they are ready. Shen tells Ken that people from their organization are waiting for them, but as he and Fuko have to be here, he should lead them there and he agrees, and tells the children to follow him. And as they leave, Shen tells Fuko they will now be under Union's protection. Then Spoil's core and Andy's hand crash down and Andy regenerates from it. Shen gets ready to fight and asks Mui to teleport the core away. Andy asks what day it is. Shen tells him the date. He smiles and says good. Shen thinks that he is different. Suddenly, Andy's head sparks, but he says that he won't give up this time and cannot die. Then he walks towards Fuko and says it is her fault. Shen calls him Victor, the god of victory, Andy's alter ego. Victor kicks him, saying he's human, and he is surprised that his abilities do not affect him, and he is so powerful that his bones break every time he attacks. He's not a human. Then Victor says he's impressed and then fires his fingers at him, which injures him. Then Fuko runs and touches him, but her unluck doesn't work on him, which causes destruction every other time. He says he understands that her unluck works by touch, but he has no desire to die, nor can she kill him, and then he prepares to attack her. She asks if Andy would let him hit her and says that he promised to protect her and wants her to fall for him. But Victor calls her idiot. Then Shen stands up and says this is a great day and says he made 2 promises to Andy. First is to protect her and then strikes him. And the second is to beat him, but he can't do it alone, so he called all the members of the round table. Fuko says they need help, but Shen smiles and says he's fine. Then Victor says, let's see what they can do, and fires his finger bullets, but each member blocks them by using shields. He challenges them to use their powers instead of defending. Then they surround him to attack him, but he breaks the chain. He laughs and Nico uses his orbs to cut him in half, which slows down his regeneration, saying he experimented on him to know this. He says that these attacks won't work on him as he can regenerate from any part and fires his finger before Ishin strikes him. He regenerates from the finger and calls Ishin an amateur fighter and tells her to stay back or die. Then he walks towards the team and says fighting them will be a good challenge. Then Juiz steps ahead. Shen is relaxed. Fuko looks worried, and then Juiz draws her sword to fight and attacks him. Victor fights back. She cuts him and orders Top to take Fuko and Shen away, saving them from his attacks. Victor thinks the kid is fast, so he kicks the long staff to crush them, but Shen commands the staff to shrink, and they escape. Fuko thanks Top, but he says it's fine. She asks why he is still running and how they can stop Andy. He says the last time they had Gina, but now he doesn't know and rejects her request to take her back. Then Shen gives her the gun, saying it is for self-defense, and gives her the metal card. Then she runs. Top tells her to stop, but Shen says let her go. She can handle it. Then Top is forced to take her back. She thanks him, but he says don't die, old girl, and they both begin arguing over who is the real brat. Meanwhile, the members continue fighting Victor's clones. Ishin holds one as Phil fires his beam at it, and the real Victor stands nearby observing how they use their powers. He notices the burning sword in Juiz's hand, saying it is Uma Burn's work, and compliments her. As Top and Fuko return, he says there are multiple undeads, and they can't tell which one is real. Fuko observes carefully, and says the one fighting Juiz is the real one. Top asks how she knows, and she explains he is the only one holding the sword and tells him to get near him. He says he'll try. As Juiz fights Victor, Fuko jumps on him and pulls her shirt around him. Everyone is shocked by what she's doing. Top asks if this is her plan, and she says it will work. Top keeps running as she explains that her unluck will work and he will become weak. Juiz asks if she's sure, but she says she has no idea. Jui says if it would be Andy, it might work, so they need to wake Andy and stop him. Victor says it will never work, and orders his clones to attack Fuko, but Top hits one away. Then Victor creates more clones, but the members destroy every clone. He tells them to kill her, and he will find stronger negators for the seat. Then Juiz attacks him, saying he can't influence them. Then he throws her aside. She orders the team to protect Fuko and keep attacking the clones. Shen calls the staff back to him. The team saves Fuko from the clones. She tries to call out Andy. Top says her she's their last hope. Fuko thinks about how to bring him back, observing others while they fight. She thinks of the first day they met, how he saved her. Now it is her turn to save him, and she gets an idea. She shoots him in the head and inserts her finger in the wound. As blood comes out, she calls Andy to take control, and she'll make him lucky. Then Andy takes over and kisses her. Then all the clones disappear. Fuko gets emotional after the kiss. He says they will continue, and her face turns red with embarrassment, and she runs away. She shouts that unluck is coming, and Juiz tells them to fall back. Victor takes over and says they can't escape. Shen uses his ability to freeze him, and multiple meteors fall down, destroying the entire town. Nico's orbs protect them from the river of Victor's blood. Then, they look at the massive hole in the ground, and Fuko runs in to find Andy and puts the metal card back into his head, begging Andy to return. Then the water floods the hole. A week later, she wakes up in a room and shouts Andy, who is sitting beside her. He says he finished reading her favorite manga and liked it. Then she expresses her emotions and asks what he was thinking, and if the members hadn't arrived, she would have lost him. He touches her head and she tells him not to, but he says that when Victor took over, only her voice brought him back, and he thanks her. She says that he called her by her name, but he tells her to change clothes. She asks about the soft toy, and he says it belongs to Tatiana. He also tells her that the children they rescued from the town also visited her, and they will stay at the Union's orphanage until they turn 18. She asks if they are scared after losing their loved ones, but he says they are like their teacher, brave and positive, and her lessons will always remain in their hearts. So don't worry, she smiles. Then he asks if his words made her fall for him, and suddenly lava burns him. Next, Top tells them they are late for the meeting, and she apologizes. Then he asks why Andy is burning. She says he got unlucky and they're not lovers. Shen and Tatiana look cheerful. Juiz orders them to sit. Fuko says she's 9, but Andy reminds her he was promoted to 9th after stopping clothes, and they take the seats. Next, Juiz tells Apocalypse to proceed with the results of the quests, and it opens. Next, inside an abandoned building in Rio de Janeiro, a man is holding Negator Unseen as his hostage. He is watching him bleed after he put a tracker inside him and telling him to join them or die. Next, at the round table, all the members are eager to know the rewards they receive this time. Fuko realizes she was out for a week, and Andy tells her that her body needed time to recover. As Apocalypse begins, Quest 1, Capture of Uma Burn is successfully done by Juiz, Tatiana, Billy, Ishin, Phil, and Top, and an 11th seat is added to the table as the reward. Quest 2, Capture of Uma Eid is also successful, done by Juiz, Tatiana, Billy, Phil, and Top, and the location of Negator Unburn is revealed for a week. Quest 3 is completed by Nico, and as promised, all the world languages are unified into English, and everyone's memories and cultures are altered. Shen asks Mui on the comm where she is. She replies at the gym, so he removes his tie and speaks to her in Japanese, which she couldn't understand, confirming that the unification is complete. Next, Apocalypse says that the quest to capture Uma Past is done by Juiz, Nico, and Phil, and the location of the Artifact Rebellion is marked on the globe. Quest 5 to capture Uma Spoil is completed by Andy, Fuko, and Shen, and the location of Negator Unrepair is revealed. Fuko gets excited, saying that now Unrepair can fix Andy, who listens silently. As Apocalypse says that Quest 6 is incomplete, Andy says the people looking for Unseen are dead and guesses he is taken by Unrepair. As a penalty for not completing all the tasks, Apocalypse releases Uma Galaxy from its mouth, scaring everyone at the table. Galaxy escapes through the tunnel. Juiz calls Uma Move, the same being who brought Andy and Fuko through the crack, and orders him to transport them to the surface. As the crack increases, Fuko loses her balance, but Andy holds her, and then they fall through the crack. Apocalypse wonders if the members will be able to overcome the penalty. Then all members are teleported near Mount Augustus by Uma Move, who leaves after Juiz thanks him. Fuko says everything looks normal, but Juiz reveals that Uma released by Apocalypse can destroy humanity, and Galaxy has already spread across the world, altering the rules of existence, adding stars and planets into space. Juiz asks Nico to find out about the new rule, and he says the scientists are already investigating it. Then the world's history keeps on changing. Nico says that galaxy contains many Earth-like celestial bodies along with new concepts like myths, names of the planets, weekdays, and aliens. Suddenly a large alien spaceship appears in the sky, scaring Fuko. Nico says they born a few moments ago and believes they have always existed, complete with trained soldiers, spaceships, and they are here to claim Earth. Then an alien stands in front of them, saying they are here to make Earth their new home. Andy says it's a difficult penalty. Then the alien considers Jewies as Earth's representative and says that they will make humans their slaves, and if they resist, they will be killed. Jewies tells him to leave, but he fires a beam that destroys the mountain and says that killing humans is justice, so they can live on this planet with their families. Jewies asks if they meant it and he says this is their vision for this planet. Then she removes her helmet and reveals she is Negator Unjustice. The alien ships begin attacking each other one by one, until every ship is destroyed. The alien can't believe what she has done. Then she tells Andy and Fuko that this time she was able to avoid, but it could have been dangerous, and warns they have 99 penalties. Each time they get a penalty, the tabloid slot gets filled, and if they get one more penalty, then Ragnarok will happen, ending the world, and they need to stop it. And Apocalypse will not open until they find their 8th member in 3 months, or they will not get new tasks and receive a new penalty. So this time they need to recruit someone. The alien says he'll kill them, and Juiz wonders how he's still alive. Then she lifts her helmet, telling him to go away. Then he is teleported away. This event is known as the first and the last contact with the aliens. They are still between the wreckage. Juiz says that thanks to Apocalypse's rewards, they now have the locations of Unburn and Unrepair. Then Andy volunteers to find Unrepair, and she assigns Tatiana and Fuko to help him. Andy says it's his turn to help them now. Next, in Rio de Janeiro, Fuko is in a fancy tailor shop, freaking out while waiting for Andy to return wearing a new white suit. She says he looks dashing, and he asks if she likes him, making her uncomfortable. On the plane, it is revealed that Fuko and Andy are going to Rio to attend a black market auction used by Mafia worldwide to sell captured negators, UMAs, and artifacts. And as Apocalypse revealed that Unrepair is in Rio, the Union believes he may be attending the auction. So with the help of the passes made by Nico, they will go there, but first they need to do some shopping. Back in the shop, Fuko tries on many dresses but feels embarrassed in each one and shouts at Andy for picking revealing outfits, saying she can wear her normal clothes. Andy says they are going to a party, but she returns the dress. He says it will help them to get her unluck, but she doesn't like the dress. He says that at the party she will be going as his girlfriend, which makes her blush. He adds that no one will touch her, and if someone does, only a person who buys people will die, then gives her more dresses. She says they look tight. Then she remembers her private meeting with Juiz in the library after they return from the battle with aliens. She asks why she chose someone weak like her for the mission. Juiz says she is strong enough to destroy the planet, and that is why she gave the order to kill her. However, in the fight against Victor, she realized that she could be a great asset to the team, but they need to find a way to control her powers, so she must work with Andy and try to fall in love with him, which shocks her. Back in the present, she comes out in a red dress and he tells her to be confident, saying she looks perfect. Next, as they check into the hotel, she is scared to be around so many people. He notices it and suggests they should go out. While walking on the pathway, he asks if they can kiss again like before, and she runs away, refusing, with him chasing her, saying she kissed Victor, not him. Then she stops and removes her gloves. As he jumps at her, she calls Clothy, who moves aside, allowing her to touch Andy's bare chest. After that, a truck hits him, throwing him into the water. She says she will give Clothy his favorite food, a ball of yarn. Then she sees a shark fighting Andy. On the shore, she apologizes. Then he reveals that he doesn't know anything about his alter ego Victor, and has no memories of whether he is the original or Victor, and if he manages to return someday and kill her. But she says she will save him again and will never give up on him. Then she tells him they have to return and touches his hand without gloves. Just then, Tatiana falls on him, crushing him. Tatiana says they were supposed to meet at the port, but she says her unluck activated. Tatiana says that as they enter the auction venue, she will stay nearby and help if anything goes wrong. She says they need to find Unrepair, then gives her a bow tie she made to match her dress. Then she says they must act like a married celebrity couple and leaves laughing. In the evening, they get ready and approach the ship, acting like a couple. As the ship sails out to sea, Andy tells her to stay calm and be careful of her surroundings. Then they enter the party hall using their passes, and see a big hall filled with rich people talking about how their previous buys benefited them. While taking food, they hear people saying that a negator is on sale today and how easy it is to find them. Fuko asks how it's easy. Then they sit on an empty sofa, and he explains that after the unification of language, it is easier for normal people to find non-English speaking negators. She says that's not good, but he says it is also helping the Union stay one step ahead. But she gets sad and he asks what's wrong. She asks what's better, being sold or being kept in Union prison. He says it is the same, either they die or live as slaves. She wonders if they are like her, living a hard life, alone and dangerous to others, saying she wanted to die. He says it's a matter of choice they make. Use their powers for good, die or become villains. And after he met her, he chose to save her, to fight, and that is why he joined the Union. She says she's not sure as she wanted to end her cursed life. Elsewhere, two guards ask a couple to leave. The man's name is Rip, who tortured unseen before as the guard points a gun at him. He asks the girl, Latla, if he's going to die, and she says yes. Bullet in head, then he moves very fast, slicing their necks and killing them instantly. Then he whistles and a whale appears and spits two people on the ship. She says it's disgusting. Then she shows a bloodied suit and the soldier asks if he should wear it, but Rip says they don't need it. The soldier asks if it's here and Rip says yes. Rip thanks the hooded man for coming, but the soldier asks him to speak Chinese and they leave. As she throws away the bloodied suit, Tatiana notices it and informs Andy that she saw 4 people speaking another language and killing the guards. She says they are negators and they are going to the auction. Juiz says they must be hunters, a negator hunting group. Andy asks if they have Unseen and she thinks they have him and says these negators are looking for revenge and kill other negators. Maybe they are just like them. But Fuko says they are not, as Union kills to protect people, but the hunters have no right to kill others. And then she jumps on Andy's back. Next they run toward the door and he attacks the guards, then asks Tatiana for the sword. The injured guard calls for backup. As they go ahead, some guards fire at them. Tatiana gives him the sword and he cuts his head, which Fuko throws at them, saying negators are not tools. Then her unluck hits, breaking the floor beneath them. She also falls through the crack, but Andy saves her and they land safely. Then they take the stairs heading to the cargo hold to find and save the negator and if needed fight the hunters. As they reach down they see dynamites planted on the floor with the timer flashing 0 and the blast shakes the ship. A boy takes the keys from a guard and tries to escape, and the boy is revealed to be the negator who uses his power to freeze him, but he shakes in fear. As he sees the gun, he doesn't know how to control his powers. He says that he is a school student who is having a difficult time understanding other students, as he doesn't speak English and shouts at his best friend, who also couldn't understand what he is saying. Then 2 men use a taser to make him unconscious and kidnap him before other negators arrive. And after that he found himself here with a guard watching him. He is scared, which allows the guard to move again. The guard says he'll not kill him. Suddenly, the hunters shoot the guard and Rip walks toward him saying he was looking for him and would not let Union take him. The boy speaks Japanese, which he is not able to understand. Rip asks Latla if she understands him, but she refuses. Then Creed points a large gun at him, which scares him. Creed tells him to use his ability. Latla says it's too much, but Rip says if he doesn't use the power he deserves to die. Creed starts the countdown. The boy thinks he needs to use his powers, but he is not able to focus. Then he thinks about his parents and then Creed begins firing at him. The hunters believe he is dead, but as the smoke clears they see Andy shielding him. With all the bullets, Fuko arrives and rushes to put a tie around the boy's neck so he can understand them. Andy informs Tatiana that they have the boy. Then he notices the hunters, wondering what their abilities are. Suddenly, Rip attacks him and asks what type of negator he is, saying the wound will not heal until Rip dies, as he is the unrepair. As the blood keeps flowing, Andy is not able to cut himself to regenerate as wounds don't heal in front of Rip. Then he signals Fuko to touch him. Rip says he will not allow the Union to take the boy and they will kill him, so his powers transfers to someone who is not afraid to use them. Then Andy runs toward them and Fuko cuts his neck and he strikes Rip, while Tatiana hits Creed and Feng. The boy freaks out. Tatiana says she will handle the 2 men, telling Andy to deal with the others. Andy attacks Rip, who dodges and cuts his arms. Rip says that he is quick with the blade, and Andy cuts his hands completely and shoots them. Lalta comes in to divert the attack as his arms regenerate. Rip offers him to join them, but he walks back. Then Rip tells Latla to heal him, saying he was not healing but preparing an attack, and because of that he was able to heal. He refuses the offer, saying he thought unrepair would kill him, but now he doesn't care about it. Rip again says that he should join them and calls Fuko crazy for cutting his head, like it is nothing, but the boy is scared to use his powers. He can't even stand still, so he must die. The boy asks why is that. Rip says that they want strong people in their team and plan to rule the world. Fuko asks why he wants to do that. He says he likes to watch people die. Then Andy attacks Lalta, causing her to freak out. Andy notices blood, thinking what her power is. Then Rip says goodbye to the boy and throws his blade at him. Andy tries to block it but fails, and then Fuko dives in to save the boy. Andy rushes to her. Rip asks why she did it, and she has 1 hour before bleeding out, and calls her useless. Fuko says she's fine and that the blade slowed because he blocked it, telling him not to pull the card. He agrees and holds her using a glove. As they hear the guards coming, Rip says they have to run, saying they'll meet again. The angry guards point their guns at them, assuming they are the Negator hunters. Andy thinks he needs a plan to take her to safety. Then the boy tries to cover her wound. Then he asks the guards to call a doctor for her and he will stay here, but a guard fires at him, telling him to move. Shaking with fear, tears fill his eyes as he thinks about the time his mother was in the hospital, telling him to be kind to people who show kindness and to always be there to help them. Back in the present, the guards fire again, but the boy uses his power on Move, freezing them instantly. Andy asks if he did it and he says that because of him, she got hurt. He has always been a coward but not anymore. Now he will use his powers to save her. Then Andy smiles and says, "Let's do this, kid." That's all for today. If you want the next part, comment next part. We'll make it once this video hits 10,000 likes. Also, tell us which character you like the most in the comments. And thanks for watching, you guys are the best.